back after Christmas break. Hey, look who's here.
Hey, Happy New Year, my
Straight
friend.
off of Happy New Year to you. Did you have a good Christmas?
It was great. Yeah, it was great. Really quiet, which was good.
Was the 29th special?
The 29th?
Michigan?
Oh, it was awesome. That was
Beats
awesome.
Michigan.
It was awesome. It was one of the, definitely one of the highlights of my career. And it was a great game, great atmosphere. We actually controlled the game.
Yeah,
and
you're the better team.
We were there with, I was there with a bunch of boosters, and at the 8-minute timeout in the first half, I turned to them and I said, I'm telling you, we're going to win this game because our guards are better than theirs.
No, I texted Matt Bonnet, who was there, and I said 6 minutes in the game, I go, you're the better team. You're
100%.
more athletic. You're
100%.
more athletic. Strange to say, but that you were.
It's crazy, yep.
All right, let's get into a lot of things to talk about. The FCS championship was the other day.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to ask you this. Northern Illinois athletic director, and I forget his name, came up with the idea of a G5 playoff. What do you think of that and kind of splitting the G5s deciding to split off, at least in a playoff situation?
I think it's going to be. I think it's almost inevitable. I think that at some point in time, again, you look at UCLA and USC and all these West Coast teams flying their volleyball team and softball team all the way to Rutgers, right, in New Jersey. I think at some point in time, and I think Chip Kelly said this at UCLA, was at some point in time, I think football at that level is going to be football at that level, and then all the other sports go back to playing within a region, et cetera.
Similar to what the Missouri Valley does in FCS.
Yes, I think so. I mean, again, and I have no inside information, but I just think that at some point in time, a year or two down the road, athletic directors are going to sit there and going, we're flying our volleyball team 3 time zones, just because we want to be in this league for football. At some point in time, I think we'll recorrect ourselves.
Yeah, I think so too. I think it's inevitable that it's going to happen. But we have some weird things going on now where kids, not only that, but you got NIL where kids are now deciding to stay away from the NFL draft.
That's right.
To play NIL and make NIL money.
That's right.
This is a changing world. You've always said it's about a changing world, but for you guys, you've got to make a statement at some point in time that we want to make the move and show the move, right?
Well, yeah, I think that, everyone knows that that's eventually where we'd like to go. But we got to, look, I mean, we're going to have Coach Aaron Ingram here, our new chief of staff or, recruiting coordinator with football. I mean, look, we got to get football to go. I mean, there's no secret. We have invested too much money into football for us to be this bad on the field. I truly believe in Gary Goff. I think that I know what kind of coach I hired. And next year is a huge year, and the expectations have been set. He understands those, and we need to win football games.
Well, also, I think bringing a recruit, and I want to ask you this before he gets here, is you made the decision to bring a recruiting coordinator in, which is you're the third team in the Southland Conference to do it. But it is the national trend now.
It is.
Is that basically because of the portal, and the job has now just become such overwhelming just for the portal? Is that a lot of it?
Yeah, I think that's a huge thing. And because of the portal and the ability to have a pulse on what's going on in the country, you have to have this position. And again, when I sat back and I evaluated the program, I realized that we were behind in this area, and I wanted to invest in this area. And, I'll be this is the truth. I mean, there has not been an administrator that has invested more in football at McNeese than I have. We need to win football games. And I truly believe that the tide changed, and hiring Coach Ingram has helped us keep up with the new trends. And I've always said you either have to adapt or you die. And I made a decision to try to adapt.
Well, one thing is, before he even got here, though, you had what looks like on paper, and it's always on paper, you look like you had a good portal year.
I think so, and I think that
you got bigger at least.
We did, and I think that they did a better job, hopefully, of truly investigating all the players and truly doing their homework. That was a big push from me to the staff at the end of the year.
And right after this, we're going to meet Aaron Ingram and talk portal and football after this.
In a wreck, Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys is ready to go to work for you. Come meet your team.
I'm your intake specialist. I coordinate your case and connect you with your attorney and paralegal.
That's us, your legal team.
Thanks. And we'll fight to get you every dollar you deserve.
I'm your settlements and disbursement manager, and I'm here to get you paid on time.
I'm attorney Gordon McKernan. Put our team to work today. Just call us. Get it done.
Tell me how the day unfolds. Traffic fast or traffic slow. The feeling is so fine, I gotta say. You're everywhere, got you everywhere. Everywhere I roam. You're everywhere, got you everywhere. Everywhere I go. Whoa, go. Everywhere I go.
Hey, she's on her way up.
Hey, G, I got you something.
Hey, Coach. What do you think? Is this too much?
If you look good, you play good.
All right, then. Let's get it done.
At Lakeside Bank, we specialize in stress-free banking services. Now you can stress less with our Great Escape Spa giveaway. One winner a month can unwind with a relaxing spa package from Scarborough's Salon and Day Spa. Then, in December, we'll give away a luxurious relaxation trip for two to Miraval Resort in Arizona. Now that's stress-free. Register today at any Lakeside banking location. Stress less at Lakeside Bank.
Welcome back to Poke Nation. It's a pleasure to have new Director of Operations and Recruiting Coordinator, Aaron Ingram. Nice to meet you, man.
Thanks, Coach. Thanks
for having us.
No, big time. Thank you.
Welcome to Poke Nation. Welcome to Gazzola the Great. We're all living in his world. So, welcome.
We need a better world, I think. But I think we need a better world.
Well, Coach, let's get right to it. Obviously, you know, when we started restructuring the football program after last year when I sat down with Coach Goff, and one of the byproducts is bringing you here.
Yep.
You know, we really converted into not just having ops, but a recruiting division. Someone that is 24/7 thinking about the roster, and also helping bridge gaps that I personally believe we have to have in I-10. Right, from we've talked about it numerous times.
Correct.
From East Texas all the way into New Orleans.
Correct.
Talk about your path here. Tell Poke Nation a little bit about yourself and how you got here, and why McNeese.
The first one is why McNeese is an easy question. I tell a lot of people this is like, if you want to go shopping, you go to New York City. If you want to go to Hollywood and you like surfing, you go to California, right? But if you like football, you come to the South. Yeah. And there's no better South than Louisiana football. I've learned that really quick in my finding out about Louisiana and getting into the culture and going that and finding out somewhere to go. But football in Louisiana is very special, so why would you not have the opportunity if you could come jump down and get into it? That was a huge thing with me. Plus, when you get here and you see McNeese, not just online, you're doing pictures, but you see things, everything is here built to win. This place is ready to win, and that's what we're going to do. That's first and foremost. I'm a West Coast kid, born and raised in California, so I'm shorts and flip-flops most of the year. Don't make fun of me. I know, right? That's who I am. But I've had a really good career. I started out as I'm a coach's kid and a coach's grandkid, and I married a coach's daughter when I recruited her brother. So that's a whole nother story we'll get into some other time. But don't have much hobbies but that. Don't have any kids. It's about football and football 24/7 with me and recruiting, so there's nothing else. And kind of worked my way from the junior college circuit in California, and a high school coach, then to junior college, up to FBS. Was at University of Nevada, was at USA Football for 7 years as the general manager, overseeing all of football and recruiting and evaluation for them. Was at Ball State for the last couple of years, and then kind of find my way here to the Bayou.
The one thing about USA Football and your time there, what you bring here is you must have connections everywhere then.
Yeah, it created a web. When I first got there, I didn't know what to do and what it was. Like everybody else, they were like, USA Football, I'd get the head tilt. Like, what is that? And, it's basically USA Basketball before the Olympics is what it was. Yeah. Now they've kind of switched their theme to go into the flag world, and they got it into the Olympics. So I think I was a little bit of a help with that, not much, but I was also gone for some of it. But what it is, when we were doing tackle side, I was hiring 1,600 coaches a year. And you create this networking web. I treated it like one big college is the only way I knew how to do it. And we had 14 teams, so you're understanding what the magnitude of evaluation and scouring and recruiting was, and it was great. And there's some of those coaches still to this day that I'm best friends with. Our offensive coordinator, Adam Neugebauer, was one of my guys back in the day as well.
Yeah, so that makes it interesting. Then you go to Ball State.
Yep.
Now, you're in FBS football.
Yeah.
Now you come down to FCS football. Why the move to FCS? And what differences is there in recruiting do you see?
It's very similar. I think Group of 5 football and FCS football are very much the same, right? They're both kind of almost in purgatory a little bit nowadays with the Power 5s and the portal the way it is. They're very, very similar. So a lot of times when you're looking at the evaluation, I had one of the kids this morning at breakfast ask me, hey, what's the difference? The biggest difference is there's just more numbers in the trenches, more O linemen, more D linemen. A lot of times the skill is very similar, almost equal. That's where when you go and you play a Group of 5 school, probably, it's going to be probably a really good fight for us. Now, if we're going to go play A&M, we're going to go play some of these others, you'll see the difference in the O-lines, maybe in the quarterback play. Other than that, we should play with anybody.
Well, I think, too, the big thing, Coach, is, and we talked about it in my first question was, and through the interview process, and I think it's important for everyone to know in Poke Nation that this position now duly reports.
Correct.
It reports to me and to Coach Goff. There obviously, there's no secret. We needed to make some significant changes within our football program. So we are, and I'm excited that you're here. One thing we talked about was really, truly building and reestablishing relationships in I-10.
Yep.
Because when McNeese was rolling, we owned I-10.
Yep.
You're going to start something here in the next couple days or a week to get to Louisiana. Tell Poke Nation about that and kind of what you're going to do and how you're going to brand it, et cetera, which I'm really excited about.
First couple things we're going to talk about too is we're going to have relentless relationships. That's something we're going to talk about constantly. The staff has heard me say it a bunch. Relationship is just not, I don't call when it's transactional what I need. We're going to be very relentless in our relationships. That's a no-brainer with me. It's how it rolls. But then also what we're going to do is we're going to get ready and we're going to take the tour, the Louisiana State of Mind tour. We're going to go and hit every high school in the state, and we're going to go within a 10-day period, and then we're going to hit the Triangle as well really hard and kind of get back to where we were. Because like you said, I agree. I look back at the history of football here at McNeese, and that Golden Triangle is really big for us.
One of the things that happened during the hurricane was not only McNeese lost talent, as kids didn't let it come back, but the high schools did too.
Yeah.
Do you see them bouncing back?
I do. I've kind of watched it from afar because obviously everybody in the country followed the hurricane and what it did here. That's a big deal. That is a huge deal. You see it bouncing back. You see life starting to grow. That's one of the things that really kind of did it. After I was here on my interview, I spoke with Heath. I got in the car actually and just drove around by myself for an hour alone, which was something I wanted to see. And you see the life growing. You can just feel it. There's an energy in the city that's fun, and how do you not want to be a part of it?
When we come back with Coach, we're going to talk about the portal, his thoughts on that,
Love it.
and how McNeese can enter it and do a little better job at it after this.
Serving the community of Southwest Louisiana since 1954 and a loyal supporter of McNeese State University for over 30 years, Southwest Beverage has provided scholarships to students, supported athletic programs, and sponsored the Banner Series since its inception. We pride ourselves on being the premier beverage supplier in Southwest Louisiana, offering an extensive portfolio of beer, spirits, and non-alcoholic beverages. We're Southwest Beverage, and we want to say thank you for your support.
Tell me how the day unfolds. Traffic fast or traffic slow. The feeling is so fine, I gotta say. You're everywhere, got you everywhere. Everywhere I roam. You're everywhere, got you everywhere. Everywhere I go. Go. Everywhere I go.
Ever since I was young, I've known what I wanted to do. Sure, I had some guidance along the way. Thanks, Mom and Dad. But eventually, I had all I wanted. Family, career. It went by fast. Now I'm here. Retirement. And thanks to sound financial planning, it will be all I hoped for. And our children will have a secure legacy. For me, retirement is the next great chapter in my life.
Ferdinandson Financial Group. Let us help you make a plan.
We're all from different places and backgrounds. We've each experienced our own versions of life, but in the end, we're all on the same team. I'm part of that team, along with these players in purple and gold.
Kayshawn Buddha, Malik Neighbors, Miles Frazier, Greg Brooks,
Kyron Lacey. Whether on the field, in the community, or in the courtroom, your team matters.
So join our team. Make a difference. Bet. Let's get it done.
We're back with Aaron Ingram, now the McNeese I guess coordinator would be the main job you have right
Chief
now.
of staff.
Oh, chief. That sounds good.
It sounds fun, right? Yeah. Everybody asks me what it is. That's great.
That's good. You can
Right?
define it as
It's
your
fun,
own.
yeah, right?
You're the first one to have one here.
Yes.
You're the third in the conference. Do you see this as a growing thing on the FCS level?
You know, it's funny. You hear the noise of it. It is growing. It's growing. FBS still growing. You know what I mean? It's a term that a lot of people are going to where they oversee operations, like he said, as well as the recruiting side. It's almost a general manager, chief of staff. It's very much modeling the NFL.
What do you see it as your biggest thing, and what benefits does the program get out of it?
Benefits is, I talk to Coach Goff about it every couple of minutes. I'm bugging the life out of him about it, but it's somebody that I give him a right arm. You know what I mean? I'm his right arm in a lot of ways. I can bounce things off of him. I've been around the game a long time, so it helps. So it's another person that's his age. I don't want to age myself, but I kind of aged myself there doing that. But it gives him some more to feel out and do and kind of oversee with some football background and some roster management. Nothing matters but the roster. That's all that matters here, the roster.
Well, it's funny because, I say this all the time. Like, I'm a big believer in culture.
Yep.
But I've never seen a good culture if you don't win.
Correct.
And and I've never seen teams win if you don't have really good players. So it all comes down to the roster, right, and the management of the roster. So I thought it was important, Jim, and I told Coach this, that I wanted someone that woke up every single day and the number one thing they thought about when they woke up and the last thing they thought about when they went to bed was our roster. How do we get our players better, and how do we continue to upgrade our roster? And so I think it's in today's world with the portal, and I know we're going to get into this now, is you have to continually be recruiting your own players.
Correct.
You have to be continually recruiting and knowing what's going on in the world. And I think that, as a coach, especially in the season, you get so locked into your position, your game plan, but there's a whole other world out there.
Oh, it's crazy.
We have struggled in the portal. Let's just call it what it is. We've struggled in the portal. How do we do a better job, and what is your take with the portal, and how are you going to look at the portal? And because it's here to stay, and we have to utilize it as well.
Yep.
So how do we do a better job with it?
I think a lot of it is you have to look at it and look at where the ties are, what the position is. There's so many factors you got to look at. I think in the past we haven't done that here. I think we looked at a couple factors, not all the factors, and I think that's really big. That's completing the circle. Now, they have done a nice job in this class here. This class that was signed with the 19 guys coming in mid-year, phenomenal job by them. After what I've seen this morning at 6 a.m., like I told you, I'm really pleased with that. I'm very pleased with what I'm walking into. So now just to probably polish it up a little bit more and get a couple more little hidden pieces on, I'll kind of surprise you with later on in the month, hopefully, but not yet. But we're close. But I think when you look at the portal, you've got to look at it every day. It's not let me check and take a week off and do that. It's a morning, noon, and night type thing. You do it a couple times a day. You got to look at the background of a kid. You got to do the checks. You got to call where they're from. You got to do some academic checks. You got to do all the things you would do if they were a high school kid, but in more depth and faster. So I think part of it is when you have someone who's dedicated to it, like myself, that helps the process. I think, when we didn't have it before, like you and I have talked, and Jim, there wasn't anybody that did it full time, So it's a full-time thing. I looked at it already twice this morning before we came over early just to see, hey, what are we looking at today? Who anybody else knew? Is there something else? Is there anybody from Louisiana recently that's jumped in? And let me check their high school background and where were they? And I think that's big too. We're going to be about the state. I'm about Louisiana. I'm very much about Louisiana. We're going to be about Louisiana.
Well, let's talk about this too, because we talked about, you said, relentless relationships,
That's right? Relentless.
So let's be honest. When a kid goes to a Power 5 or a Group of 5, especially in I-10, okay, so Polk Nation understands the vision here. So we want to rekindle and reestablish all these relationships with these high school coaches. For a lot of reasons, McNeese has lost that.
Yep.
Okay. But when a kid is at, in East Texas, Silsbee, what have you, and they go to Lafayette or they go to Tech or they go to University of Houston, if that kid jumps in the portal, that kid is going to call somebody, and I guarantee you one of them is going to be the high school coach.
Correct.
So you have to have a relationship with them so that you have a proponent talking to the kid. I mean,
100%.
I've recruited for 26 years, right? So,
That's right.
I mean, that's the world. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, that's the thing that's got to get fixed, right? And it used to be there, so it's almost like an old Honda. That probably could still run really well, but we got to clean it up and fix it and upgrade. So we got to get out there, talk to those high school coaches, get to have them here on campus, have them come to spring practice, have them come to things and see what the new McNeese football is all about, and kind of fix that in a lot of ways. But then also have a trust factor that's there. That's what this whole recruiting thing is trust and relationships. They have to know when they refer a kid to us and we go and bring a kid here to have him continue his career, that he is going to get taken care of. He's going to get developed. He's going to get an education. He's going to get those things and play football at a high level. So that's a really big thing, is fixing that corridor. That's massive. That's just, it's pivotal. It's non-negotiable.
What's the difference between recruiting now the high school kid and the portal kid?
Oh,
because you've got two completely different sets that you get into.
Yes, the high school kid now, it's almost changing, and it's changing right in front of us again. It happened last year. 6 months ago, it changed right in front of us, and now it's going where the high school kids are almost getting left behind. There's some programs that went strictly portal shopping and did it, and then dove all in and did nothing else but it. I think on the group of 5 and the FCS level, you still have to develop high school kids. This is development football, right? This is not Auburn, and we're not the Purple Tiger in the rest of the state, you know what I mean? But we have to develop them, so we have to do it. So, and it's different. That's part of it. The one thing with, let's say, a freshman who's redshirting and a high school kid, he's already been to college. He knows what the schedule is. He knows he's got it. It's a job. He's got morning runs. He's got weights. He's got class. He's got nutrition checks in. He's got probably some sort of position meeting, all those things, so you know he can survive the schedule, right? Now you find out, why is he leaving, right? That's the first thing I ask all these guys in my time here quickly. Why is he leaving? Why is he leaving? Why is he leaving? And if the answer's not good enough, we move on right away. I'm not going to waste time.
Get you out with this question. McNeese didn't win a game on the field last year, but did not really lose a lot in the portal like a lot of people thought they would. Yeah. Are you surprised by that? And what's the update on Micah Davey? Because everybody wants to know Micah Davey.
Everybody wants to know Micah Davey, right? I want to know Micah Davey. I want to shake his hand. Update off of it. Repeat the question again. I'm sorry.
Well, why do you think they didn't have the mass exodus like most 0-10 teams might?
Yep. I think when you look at it too, people know what's here. I really do. I think when the kids see what's here, I think everything for them, what they need, is here too. I've learned that in today's start of day 6. I've learned it pretty quick anyway. But everything's here to win. Like he said, the investment in football is no greater than it's ever been before, and it's facts. No offense, right? It's facts. And why leave? If everything you need is here, why would you leave? It doesn't matter. That is the question. There is no other question. Why would you? I've been in business, right? It's great, right? I've been in football a long time. I'm 50. I'm going to be 51 this week. I was born in the sport, everything else. I came here right away. I was here, 6 hours?
Yeah.
6 hours, I knew right away. I knew in hour 5 that this was it. I got
another guy sell.
I got a lot of energy.
Another guy trying to sell like he's short. That's what they do. Car salesman everywhere at McNeese. We'll be back with Coach's final thoughts after this.
Hey, she's on her way up.
Hey, G, I got you something.
Hey, Coach. What do you think? Is this too much?
If you look good, you play good.
All right, then. Let's get it done.
Back. Interesting that he has a lot of connections nationally, and that he would take a job from an FBS to an FCS.
Yeah, I think that
you're the salesman.
I don't know about that, but we had some great conversations. He and I, we talked about it in the previous segment that this position now is going to dually report. This position is going to report to me and to Coach Goff, and he understands my expectations. I've made him blatantly clear, and I think that his personality, his energy, his experience. Is exactly what this position needed. And truth be told, it's what this football program needed.
Yeah. Okay, let's get into some other things about football that I ask you all the time. I haven't asked you in almost 2 months. The stadium naming rights.
Working on it. There's a couple people that I'm actively having conversations with, and hopefully, by the spring we'll have something locked up.
No truth to any rumors that it's Gazzola Stadium?
No, but we can have that conversation. There's always a price.
That's not a conversation I can even open the wallet with. I wanted to ask you, now this week, obviously you're done. You get back home. You haven't been home in a long time, since December 17th for basketball.
Yep.
You have a Thursday night game for the women, then Saturday, the doubleheader with Southeastern, who was the preseason conference favorite in men's.
That's right.
Then Lamar, who looks like they got a pretty good team.
Yep.
Right off the bat, you got a big weekend.
Huge weekend. It'll be great, though. I mean, I'm really, really excited about where we are with men's basketball. We had a really tough game. I said it was a trap game going into it at Texas A&M Commerce, and after you go and beat Michigan in the Chrysler Center,
and then you have Christmas, you have New Year's, you have 8 days off. Yeah.
I mean, it's a trap game, but we found a way to win, which is what good teams do. And you just can't say enough about what Coach Wade has done for this program, this community, this university, and these kids are playing their butts off. And we sold out the last 2 games, and hopefully we can sell out again on Saturday and Monday.
Yeah, that'll be interesting to see what the carryover is, especially after beating Michigan, if there is.
Absolutely.
I wanted to ask you this about the baseball team coming here and playing on your campus, the college baseball team. Do you guys get a lot out of that?
We'll see. I think that it's an opportunity for kids to come and again experience McNeese. And again, because of the transfer portal, you never know.
You never know what you're going to get.
You never know. There could be a kid that ends up falling in love with Lake Charles or what have you. And I just think that anytime you can expose our facilities to people on the outside, I think it's a great thing.
No, it's an interesting thing because a couple of years ago, I think your stadium now being rebuilt in that kind of makes it more of an exposure thing for you guys that I don't think was there a couple of years ago with this opportunity. Houston Christian.
Yep.
Loses their football coach after 1 year.
Yep.
Where is the Southland Conference, and how does that affect the conference, do you think, as far as just the stability?
Well, I don't know. I don't know that coach very well, and I haven't had a conversation with their athletic director, Steve, about it. I think it's unfortunate, but it's it's a day and age we live in. I think that Campbell, gave him an unbelievable package and a lot of things, but they had one of the best, if not the best, recruiting class in FCS.
There's a lot of people thought they had one of the best. Yeah.
I was very impressed with their coach. I thought he did a heck of a job. But it's tough for the league, but the league has to continue to move on. But again, I don't know enough about the situation to really comment on it.
But it does kind of show people that criticize the portal and that coaches are doing it. Kids should be allowed to do it.
Yeah, for sure.
That's just the world we live in.
It's the world we live in, and again, you have to adapt or you die. And I think that the coaches that have success here and do it the right way are going to be rewarded and have been rewarded. The ones that don't have success, I mean, it's just it's the nature of the beast. It's what you sign up for when you're in college athletics.
All right, you got 15 seconds. Sell your Gatsby.
Well, listen, we have 100 tables and we only have 20 left. So if you want a Gatsby table and it is the biggest and best party of the year, you better hurry up. Don't wait too long because we're almost sold out.
We'll see you next week on Polk Nation.